Hi, good people. How are you doing? I hope you are great. I'm coming your way once again on My Beat TV. We started this series on love. Today we are on another level. We're going to look at love in marriage. You are welcome to My Beat TV. I will be your counselor, JK. As we said the other time, there are so many schools of thought with the definition of love. You cannot have a concrete one because there are so many kinds of definitions. But one thing that we must take note of is that we sometimes get confused with lust, attraction, and companionship. They are different things. They are not necessarily love. So you should also take note of that. And some people also think is that strong feeling of attraction towards that person you have just met. That is infatuation and sexual chemistry. That necessarily may not be love. So you take note. And now, for today's discussion, let's see love as the glue that keeps a relationship strong and solid. We are looking at love in marriage, not just in any other relationship, but in marriage. So for today's discussion, let's define love this way, that it's the glue that keeps relationship strong and then solid, at least for today's discussion. As I said, we are looking at love in marriage. We talk about love in relationships, but here we're talking of marriage specifically. Then somebody also said or defined love. So for today's discussion, let's stick to this one also, that it is an intense feeling of euphoria and deep affection for someone. An intense feeling of euphoria and deep affection for someone. At least we can go with that for now. Now, before we move on, I said we are talking about love in marriage. I have 3 components of love. I call it love triangle. 3 components of love, which I call love triangle. So in the triangle, one arm of the triangle is intimacy. The other arm of the triangle is passion. And then the other part, the third part, is commitment. So the love triangle, or the components of love: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Now we'll look at each one and then we proceed. Now let's look at intimacy. When you're talking of intimacy, this is the emotional component of marriage. Aspect of the intimacy of love triangle, I said, is the emotional component of marriage. And this is the mutual feeling of closeness. This is expressed by touch. This is expressed by arousal of emotions. And then open communication without fear of reject or ridicule. You see here, you feel free to speak with your partner without fear that your partner will have something against you, without fear that your partner will laugh at you or tease you. This aspect of love, your partner or your wife or your husband, your spouse, feels free to say anything, to tell you anything, to behave any way towards you, which he or she knows that this will not bring rejection, this will not bring any ridicule. And then this aspect also, you speak, you say something to touch his or her emotions. And then touching also is part. And arousal of emotion. Things that you say, things that you do to arouse their emotion. This is the first arm of the triangle. The second aspect of the triangle is passion. Passion. The second aspect of the triangle is passion. And I say that passion is the motivational component of marriage. Motivational component of marriage. This leads to romance and physical attraction. This passion aspect of your marriage. This actually brings us closer, attracts us. The physical attraction, the sense of romance, the aspect of the marriage or love in marriage. So we are talking about the triangle of love. We're talking of the the emotional aspect. We're talking of the intimacy aspect. We are now talking about the passion aspect. And the passion aspect, as we are talking about, this is expressed by hugging your wife or your husband or your spouse. Hugging, kissing, and then sex in marriage. These are the branch or the components of the love triangle. And you must note that passion develops quickly. In the same way, it fades quickly. That's the first attraction that attracts you quickly to your partner. That makes you yearn for one another. That makes you desire for one another. That glue you together. That makes the relationship glued or bound together. So it comes quick. It comes quickly. And the same way, it fades out quickly. Then the third component of love triangle, as I said, the third component of love triangle. This is the cognitive component of marriage. Cognitive component. When you're talking of cognitive, then we're talking of head, your brain, your mind, what you decide, what you think that happens in the head, in the brain, in the head. So this component, I said it is you to determine to remain in the relationship at all costs. So the determination to remain in the relationship at all costs. And that the marriage must work no matter what. So this is a decision. So in marriage, you make that decision, you make that commitment that no matter what, I will be in this relationship. You don't enter into marriage and retreat. You don't go into marriage and get back. That is not good. If you are mature in mind, you enter into marriage, you don't come back. Unless in extreme case where the spouse maybe threatens you. If it's of death, then fine. But if it's not a threat, if no life is at stake, you make up your mind that you will let this marriage work. That's what they say, for better, for worse. So you go to the court, you go to the church and say for better, for worse, and when the worst aspect comes, then you run away. No. So this is a commitment part of love. And the commitment is built on trust, honesty, dependability, and faithfulness. So the commitment aspect, you must build it on trust, honesty, dependability. Let your spouse be able to depend on you. That yes, I know my wife is there, I know my husband is there. Be honest, be truthful enough. Even if you have erred, let the person know that you've done wrong. Be honest, be trustworthy. Let your spouse trust you. Let your spouse be able to sleep with the eye closed. And then faithfulness to your husband. And you must note that marriage cannot work without commitment. If there's no commitment in marriage, that marriage will not work or cannot work. So this is the triangle of love that I was talking about. Now, love in marriage is an action, not just a feeling. It's an action. So that's what I'm saying. The definition of love, where they say feeling and what. We should go further, especially in marriage, to go further and know that it is not just a feeling. It is an action. It is doing something. You must do something. And for you to make your marriage work, for it to work, do not look for what you get from your partner, but rather think of what you would do. I said it's an action. So what you would do, not what your partner will do for you. What you would do. That's what you should desire or you should look for. That's what you should be doing. And then give more and expect less. Give more and expect less in marriage. And then do good to your spouse. Anything that you can think of which is good, which is better for your husband, for your wife, do it for him or for her. And then his or her happiness must be first on your agenda. His or her happiness be first on the agenda. Then expressing your love to your spouse, or you can express your love to your spouse by words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. Let your spouse know that you love him, you love her. Let your spouse know that he or she can depend on you. You must be dependable. And you say that in words. Dear, I like you. Dear, I love you. You are my everything. Without you, I cannot do anything. Whenever he does something for you, she does something for you, appreciate it. When you come and your spouse has prepared food, your wife has, mostly is the wife, has prepared food, you should say thank you, darling, for this palatable food. Once in a while, you see the husbands also go to the kitchen and then they will prepare some sumptuous meal. If you come home and your husband has prepared something, don't just say, oh, what is that? Whether it's good or not, just appreciate him by words. So you express your love to your spouse by words of affirmation. And then quality time together. Most of the time, because of the schedule of our work from Monday to Saturday work, sometimes we may not even have time for our family. But if it is 1 hour that you can get, please, the 1 hour, utilize it well with your spouse. Be together, watch TV together, converse, have a discussion. If you need to go out for a walk, you go out together hand in hand. Once in a while, you need to go to a restaurant or a bar to buy a bottle of drink, go together. This is what we call quality time. You say, oh, why should I spend money to go? No, you can just go for a walk. You can just go buy 1 bottle of mineral. This will not be expensive. As you are there, enjoying the weather outside, the breeze outside, watching new things in town. You can even go for window shopping. Just go with your spouse. All these things are quality time that you need to spend with your spouse. And then act of service. You express your love to your spouse by act of service. Be available, serve him, serve her. If there are children, there are babies. If your wife wakes up in the night, in the middle of the night, to take care of the child is crying, you should also wake up, be there, support him, support her. Act of service. Your wife may be washing and you are hungry. You can just go to the kitchen, heat up the food and eat. You serve, and she comes and says, "Oh, I've sorted myself," and she'll be happy. She'll be in love. Whichever ways that we can help, we can offer some services to our husband, to our wives. We must do it. All these things are love being expressed in our marriages. So take note. And then physical touch. When you are going out with your spouse, hold hand. You should hold hands together whilst you are in your living room, your sitting room, watching TV. Be close, hold her hands, touch her a while. When you are talking, speaking with her, pat her at the back, touch her a while. Any form of touch will work magic. So you can express your love by physical touching. And then you can express your love also by giving gifts to your husband or to your wife. Something small. You go to town, you go to work, and you're coming. You can just buy a bar of chocolate. You can just buy a biscuit. Something. Sometimes we are not saying just buy bigger thing to show your love. No. If you know your husband likes chocolate, your husband likes this wine, your wife likes this chocolate, your wife likes this biscuit, this drink. When you are coming, just buy, then surprise her with it. And all these things express love. So in marriage, you must let it work. That's why I talk about the triangle of love. The intimacy, the passion, and commitment. The commitment should be supreme. The commitment should be superior. Because as I said, without commitment aspect, without the commitment component of love triangle, marriage cannot work. Initially, the intimacy aspect and attraction aspect to attract us to be together. And at the end of it, if the commitment aspect is not there, you enter and you say, "Oh, I shouldn't have married." Then you pull back. No. You should be committed in the marriage. As I'm concluding, love is everything that makes the marriage work. It is the glue that makes our relationship solid. So, please love and let us love. Love, remember, love is kind. Love is patience. Love protects. Love trusts. Love hopes. And love preserves. Thank you for your time. I'll come your way again next week with another topic. We will continue with the love aspect of our program. I am your counselor, JK. God bless you for listening to me. Bye-bye.